Hey, what's up, everybody? Here we are, Late Night with Chett. Holiday special. It's Valentine's Day. Let me just tell you, you better stick around. Aphrodisiac style. Chett Bland, how you doing this evening, my man?
Hey man, no complaints of mine. A little cold over here, but starting to warm up, man. Spring's right around the corner.
That's what's up. Well, let's talk about what's going on this Valentine's Day.
His and her tasting menus that on one half of the menu it's very feminine, the other half it's more masculine, and utilizing lots of aphrodisiac ingredients.
Aphrodisiacs, that's what I'm talking about. How do you utilize aphrodisiacs?
Well, aphrodisiacs more or less are really strong and very permanent and very bold in flavor, so these are things that you want to use very little of. You know, it's more or less any substance that can create an internal ecstasy.
Oh, can you give us a few examples?
Oh, there's tons out there, you know, like we discussed earlier, more or less your bold and predominant flavors. Give you a few. We have arugula, ginseng, ginger, dark chocolate, honey, truffles, oysters, artichokes, caramel, saffron, nutmeg, strawberries, snails, basil, star anise, pomegranates, figs, pistachios. It's pretty open, and there's a lot more out there too.
So, how do you incorporate these into dishes?
Well, there's a lot of ways. You can build dishes with, like, let's say you take a typical aphrodisiac component like an oyster. Where else does an oyster need? Honestly, to me, it needs anything but salt. It has so much natural, beautiful brininess and salinity. A way you could utilize another aphrodisiac on top of it, instead of making your basic mignonette out of red wine vinegar, you can make your own champagne vinegar, whether if you purchase it or make it yourself.
Oils. Let's talk about infused oils. What's the optimum temperature for infusing oil?
I personally don't like them to exceed over a temperature of anywhere from like 40 to 41 degrees. These are things that you want to take very low and slow and pull out all the natural like potential flavors, especially.
So 41.
That would be about 105 Fahrenheit for those that aren't into the metric.
So 41 Celsius on infused oil. So what two methods do you use to infuse oils?
The first one, and the primarily one that we use at the restaurant, is just doing it sous vide, which is simply take equal parts, not equal, 1/3 part of product that we use by 2/3 part oil. You want to have a good amount of the product that you're steeping in there. Oil is very porous and very dense, and it will absorb the flavor. Another thing you can use to make the oils, those Voss bottles work extremely well, the water bottles, because they have a straight flush cap that goes right on top, so there's no air produced inside. That's why they're good. There's not concave, it's not convex, it's just flat. But you know, the best way that you can do it is just doing it for I do mine for about 2.5 hours. Whatever you know is that if you never exceed that temperature, it's always going to keep it the optimum flavor. And the other thing you can do is shock the oils when you pull them out. Throw them right into an ice bath. Stop the cooking process completely.
Two methods, one sous vide, the other in Voss bottles at 41 degrees Celsius.
And if you don't have a circulator, I mean, you can even use a device like set yourself up a thermometer right inside a probe and do it around the stovetop, like real gentle, and just keep, monitoring it.
Nice. Valentine's Day, I think of rose petals. I know you cook with them. Can you explain to everybody out there a little bit about rose petals?
Roses have a lot of flavor. I don't know if anyone really utilizes it. Like, you can make your own rose water using a double boiler and starting it with ice. Like, really simple process. You can make a gel from that to finish, hot app dishes. Like, a beautiful thing you can do with roses is combine it with the flavors of duck or foie or anything like that. But I like dried rose petals a lot better because of the fact that you can reconstitute them in whatever temperature at a controlled environment, like we were talking about the oils earlier. Another neat trick you can do is actually make floral salts with it, just going equal parts rose petals that are dried, grinding them in a coffee grinder, and then finish them with like a little bit of mulled and really nice English sea salt. And that's great for finishing dishes. Like, you take like a sliced piece of meat and you just sprinkle a little bit right on the eye before it goes out. It permeates into it very well. Even on something like a pate, it makes a world of a difference.
How does this dried rose petals react to heat?
Oh, extremely well. It's just, you just don't want to take them to an aggressive heat. As long as you're staying under about 60 Celsius, you're going to get more flavor out of it. I personally, like I said, if you treat them like they're a dried spice too, you can work them into spice mixtures for other dishes. They have a really, really, really pronounced flavor. You can get them at pretty much virtually any nature store. I have one out here. It's called Natural Grocers, and they're very inexpensive. I want to say I pay about $2 for an ounce of dried rose petals, which is a giant bag.
So let's talk about chocolate. Chocolate goes with Valentine's Day. What do you do with chocolate?
Well, chocolate itself is an aphrodisiac, so it's very simple. It depends exactly on what you want to do as a chef. For me, I would take the chocolate by itself and utilize other aphrodisiacs to complete a flavor profile. And the flavor combination should be something as simple as chocolate, ginger, nutmeg, and Grand Marnier. That is an amazing combination itself. From there, you can make a frozen chocolate souffle. You can make a parfait. You can make a warm cake. Anywhere you want. You can even take it to more of a savory level and pair it with foie gras. It'd be really amazing.
Man, that's what's up. So basically, you're just building dishes based around these flavors for Valentine's Day.
Right, precisely. And, you can utilize these ideas, too, in any season and just really enhance your dishes that way. Like, for example, the flavor of figs goes extremely well with arugula. So what else can you do from there? Like we were talking about earlier, when you make your own vinaigrettes using these bases and using these oils and things like that, lightly dress your greens, then, if you have nice stuff, you don't have to do much to it. A little bit of good sea salt at the end, you have pretty rounded flavors.
Yeah, totally. And you're giving your guests a little aphrodisiac in their life.
Exactly. Everyone goes home satisfied.
All right, Chett. Thanks for all the Valentine's Day tips. We'll see you next week, my brother.
And looking forward. Have a great holiday and stay warm.